Streaming from Oklahoma's own digital studio, this is OU Football Update, brought to you by Brahms.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Oklahoma's Own Sports. It's a SoonerPod midweek edition as we get set for OU Missouri this week. We have had the Brent Venables and Ben Arbuckle Tuesday press conferences, so we're going to react to that. As always, please like and subscribe. It helps us out a ton. Spread the word. Maybe you got some other Sooner fans in your life that would enjoy our thrice-a-week podcasts following the Sooners. Please let them know. How you doing, C. Willie?
I'm doing well, Toby. There's been a change of perspective. Really quickly went from OU just beat Bama on the road. They are a lock for the playoff. Clear your schedule to they have another really good opponent coming to town this week. It's game week, Toby. You got to lock back in. No time to celebrate.
Merry Christmas to you, by the way. I see you got your Christmas tree up already.
Yeah, it felt like time. It's
impressive. It's impressive. I'm hanging out at World Famous Pops today doing the show. All right, you were down there in Norman. What was your takeaway? What hit your ear from what Mr. Arbuckle and Mr. Venables had to say today?
Yeah, I thought I wasn't surprised at all, but I always chuckle when someone asks, like, hey, Brent, big rivalry. And he's like, yeah, I don't really care. Whoever we play, that's who we play. Just means nothing to me. Like, for him, if you could take the logo decals off the helmet, just make it, black and white, then he would do that. It was so funny. But I feel like this is a game that the two fan bases really don't think very much of each other. The two sets of media don't seem to think very highly of each other, by and large, too.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's been some contentious recruiting battles. Yeah, and which that Williams Winery a few years ago, who is now playing somewhere else altogether, kind of put a divide in there. But I like it. I'm all for the extra hoopla. No, I think Arbuckle and Venables made it clear they do have a lot of respect for this Missouri team, and that they're in that balance time of, hey, we know it's at stake and we know that we're in a great spot for it. We're not going to tell our guys not to talk about the playoffs at all, but it's still business as usual around here. You got to take care of things one day, one game at a time.
He does a great job, Brent Venables, of kind of compartmentalizing. And I think he's done a better and better job since he's become a head coach of doing this. But the things that he doesn't have time to waste time on, he just, bluntly honest with you. I don't have time to worry about who our rivals are and aren't. He was asked a question about the playoff rankings. He's like, can't do anything about it. Don't have time for it. Wherever it ends up being, fine. It's like, we don't tell our guys not to talk about it, but you guys ask them about it all the time, but we're just trying to beat Missouri, which is the approach you have to have. And it's understandable. They're going to practice every day. The rest of us aren't. Mm-hmm. And so all we have to do is sit around and speculate and conjecture and try to figure out who's going to go where and everything. So, that's fun. The OU Missouri, it is interesting. Oklahoma and Missouri have played each other forever. I can see why the SEC would think this would be a good matchup for a rivalry. However, basketball, in my lifetime, basketball is really the only sport where there was any kind of feelings at all between Oklahoma and Missouri. And we're going back to the Billy Tubbs, Norm Stewart days. In the 80s and 90s, Oklahoma and Missouri had great basketball teams. Steve Stepanovich and even Anthony Peeler and, of course, all of Billy Tubbs' guys. And they would meet in giant games for the Big Eight, or, they met in an Elite Eight back in 2002. But in football, it was never really that – well, I would never call it a rivalry. Mm-hmm. There was, I guess, a couple of Big 12 championship games they played, but Missouri was just another opponent. But you're right. In the last 4 or 5 years, on Twitter anyway, or in the recruiting world, it has become nasty. Now, I think that's a relatively small section of the fan base, but whatever percentage it is, there has become some real disdain, hate, if you will, between OU and Mizzou. And what happened last year, the game kind of added to it. Oklahoma blew it late. Drinkwitz had something to say to Bob Stoops After the game, Bob Stoops is catching strays. He's like, what is that about? And it just sets up, now people can't wait for it this year. And so I think it has a chance to turn into something.
Mm-hmm.
I was rooting for Arkansas, honestly, to be Oklahoma's other annual because I think, they're closer. It's a lot closer than Columbia, Missouri. But who knows? Maybe Oklahoma and Missouri will turn into, if Mizzou beats them again this year, then it's definitely going to turn into something. So what else? What do you have to say about Ahmad Hardy and this Missouri rushing attack they're going to have to try to slow down?
Yeah, Brent talked about how Ahmad Hardy has however many yards after contact, leads the nation. He was laughing. He goes, I don't even know where that stat came from, but that's pretty amazing.
It's close to 1,000.
Yeah.
Close to 1,000 yards after contact.
And that just shows how hard he is to take down. 300 yards against Mississippi State a few days ago, Toby. 300 yards. That is, you look at the great rushing performances through history, and you rarely see 300 yards in an SEC matchup.
You don't see 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
no, he's really good.
Yes, and Brent really gave a lot of credit to Missouri up front, also with the offense. He wasn't like, yes, that's an elite running back, and that's all it is. He talked it all starts with they get a great push up front on the offensive line, physical at the point of attack, and then you have a running back who's hard to take down. You have to bring your feet. You have to wrap up. A lot of respect for that. And now you look at that and you go, okay, could be a true freshman quarterback playing just his third career start. Could be Prabula. I need to figure out if he's playing so I can figure out how to pronounce his name right. But when their running attack is working the way it is, that takes a lot of heat off whoever it is, whether that is the former starter who maybe isn't 100% or a true freshman who is, still wet behind the ears playing. That if they can run the ball, that's going to take a lot of heat off that. But I just love it because it's good on good.
Yeah. There's a scary scenario in this game if you're a Sooner fan, and we're going to paint it for you after this brief word from our friends at Brahms.
It's time to enjoy the sweet taste of Brahms Strawberry Shortcake Sundae. Our creamy vanilla ice cream is nestled on top of Brahms fresh-baked golden bundt cakes, with spoonfuls of delicious strawberry topping all around, complete with fluffy whipped cream and a cherry, to create the perfect flavor combination. Strawberry goodness is waiting for you at Brahms.
Brahms A2 fresh milk. That's where it's at. Over in the, the little grocery area.
Easier to digest. I actually just saw some video of a bunch of the cows they use. The A2 cows. I don't know how it works, but
yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah. I love A1 sauce and A2 fresh milk
A2
in my life.
Milk.
Yeah. OU Missouri, there is a scary scenario in this game. Like, I don't love the matchup for Oklahoma. If Mizzou can run the ball enough to just keep churning out first downs, and that's a big if, I get it. Oklahoma's great against the run. Mm-hmm. But this is what they do. If they can just get 3 yards here, 4 yards there, move the chains, possess the ball, they can really shorten the game. And even if they don't score every time they do that, instead of there being 12, 13 possessions in a contest, then all of a sudden you're down to like 8.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side, Missouri's defense is fantastic. And an Oklahoma offense is still trying to kind of figure things out here. They're certainly not clicking on all cylinders. You're going to have a hard time going 75 yards on these guys. So Oklahoma, again, needs the defense to help them out. Score, that would be great. Give them a short field, whatever you got to do. They scored 23 on Alabama. 17 of them came directly off turnovers from the defense. So that's going to have to happen again. I think that the home crowd will help. And I do think there's a scenario where Mizzou can't run the ball certainly as effectively. If they're in 3rd and 6 or plus, then they're going to have to try to put it in the air, and that works right into Oklahoma's favor. But whether or not Ahmad Hardy and friends can have success on the ground, and I don't mean 300 yards. I'm just saying keep possessing the ball, moving the chains, force that OU defense to be out there for a while. This could be an uncomfortable day for Oklahoma.
Yeah, another thing I thought was interesting, Toby, is how Brent, and it's always, he has certain answers that are great for sound bites for TV and certain ones where there's no way you could use it as a sound bite, but they're filled with information. If you love football, you love those. The way he talked about the Missouri offense and the way they run it, he even said, quote, they're not naive. So they're not just going to try to run the ball, and if it's not working, he seemed impressed. And, he's all about the game planning and creating the game, coming back, setting up plays. He really likes the way that they use play action and utilize some of those things. So you're right. If they are able to run the ball, get a few first downs, that also might open up some of these other areas where they can hit a chunk play or find some success there. I have a hard time imagining this game being a blowout in either direction just because two excellent defenses and two offenses, especially one might have a true freshman quarterback that have some to be desired in this game.
Yeah, you got to give, Mizzou's got an identity, and we talked about this on Monday's pod, but on offense, they know what they're doing. You may not like it, and it's not all that explosive, but they got an identity. I don't exactly know what Oklahoma's identity is right now on offense. They're still trying to figure out, how we gonna move the ball and score points. So I don't know. I think it's a scary football game. If OU wins this one, it does set up, though, an unbelievable atmosphere a week from Saturday. We now know it'll be a 2:30 kickoff, LSU coming to town. Can you imagine, Chris, if Oklahoma could beat Missouri? Team can't look ahead. We can. If Oklahoma beats Missouri and you've got a game at home, and if you win it, you're going to the college football playoff, and it's LSU coming to town, man, that place is going to be hopping. I think it's going to be hopping this Saturday. They're so excited to see this team back home again.
Yeah, in that LSU game, it's funny because it was billed all summer as, you might have a chance to ruin LSU's playoff hopes, and now it feels like that narrative could be completely flipped on its head. But it's scary, Toby. I mentioned at the end of Monday's pod, it's two teams that do have enough talent to beat OU if they don't show up, but I think OU knows that. A fun stat that I had not seen that came out today, OU has lost 3 home November football games since 2000, Toby. Since 2000. Can you name them, by the way? I'll put you on the spot.
3 home November games since 2000. I'm definitely not going to be able to name them. I feel like Kansas State beat them several times here, but I feel like those were always earlier in the year. Season. Oklahoma State's one of them for sure, maybe 2 of them.
The Oklahoma State one in 2014 was actually first weekend of December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
None of the 3 are OSU?
No. No.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Way back 2001.
Oh,
OSU.
yeah.
So there's that one. And then the other 2.
Teddy's not gonna be happy we brought that game up.
The other 2, 2022 and 2014, same program.
22 Baylor. Yeah. That's why you brought this up. I knew that's the reason.
No. I just think that's remarkable. 3 since 2000, Baylor. Toby. In the biggest month of the season every year. They just don't lose at home. That's amazing.
Yeah. They haven't played LSU here in any of that time span in the month of November. So there's a few Missouri games in there, though, for sure.
And, Alabama last year, that was a pretty big time. So
a good one. Yeah, that's big time. Anything else we need to mention before we get out of here that Arbuckle or Venables had to say that you thought was good today? Was Arbuckle asked? The offense is, they're winning games. They're winning big games, but they're certainly sputtering here a bit. Now Xavier Robinson might be dinged up. Get grilled at all about how the offense could move the ball better?
He mentioned that running back depth is going to be important at this point of the season. And then the other question, of course, a couple questions about how can you get the vertical passing game back? How can you attack the middle of the field? He didn't, pull out the whiteboard and draw up any schemes for us or anything, or really he kind of played it off as a take what's given, but with Venables talking about that on the coaches show Monday and this, I think that is definitely an area he basically just said, maybe I need to call more of those plays, and John Mateer needs to take more of those shots downfield.
Yeah.
But he didn't, he wasn't ringing the alarm saying it has to happen. But I think that's definitely an area where in the game plan, it's, okay, how can we set this up to find some success over the middle and downfield?
Running back depth is an interesting topic because, where's it coming from? It's either Robinson or Blaylock. So are you suddenly going to trust Jaden Ott?
He's whatever's going on. They've been saving him, Toby.
Wouldn't that be the story? Whatever's going on with Javonte Barnes, it sounds like he's trying to not play again to protect a red shirt. Do you say, listen, man, we're in the playoff hunt here.
Right.
Forget that. We need the help. I don't know. Maybe Gabe Sawchuk becomes a guy you can use. I don't know if they trust him in pass protection or what, but if Xavier Robinson is, he came back in that game the other night, but he didn't look 100%.
Right.
And if he's not 100% by Saturday, then who's that other guy going to be? That'll be fascinating to keep an eye on. Okay, coming up on Friday, I'm going to be joined by Mike Kelly, play-by-play voice of the Missouri Tigers. He'll take us deep inside what their roster looks like on offense and defense. It's more than Ahmad Hardy. It's more than Bo Pribula. And we'll get a good primer for an 11 a.m. kickoff Saturday in Norman. Chris, great job. Glad tidings, my friend.
300 rush yards last Saturday, Toby. I'm still.
A lot.
Do you think he's even walked since then, or just horizontal, resting up?
His offensive line carries him everywhere, on their shoulders, like Cleopatra back in the day. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching this Oklahoma Zone digital studio stream. Stay with News 9, online and on television anytime for the latest news, weather, and sports.